Let's bring in retired Admiral James Stavridis. He's a former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO and now NBC News Chief International Security and Diplomacy Analyst. Admiral Stavridis, always great to see you. Let me start with you on the tactical question about how this war is going. It does appear in many ways that Vladimir Putin is frustrated, according to some reporting that he's getting more than he bargained for from the Ukrainians. But we're a long way, obviously, from this war being over. Where do you see it now, and where's it going next?
I think your analysis is spot on, Willie. Many of us in the military community have been pleasantly surprised at the degree to which the Ukrainians are stepping up, pushing back. One of Putin's problems is this is a big operation. The country is enormous, size of Texas, and he's coming in on 4 different axes. We say in the military, when you attack everywhere, sometimes you attack nowhere, meaning you've divided your forces. So he's getting bogged down. Ultimately, he's got the firepower. He's got a lot of other dirty tricks up his sleeve. But the Ukrainians are putting on quite a fight. It's a good thing to see.
Yeah, it's been inspirational to watch civilians even taking up arms to defend their country. What about the United States, Admiral? We've stepped up the sanctions. We heard President Biden talk about that a couple of days ago. Now we're seeing some Russian banks will be excluded from SWIFT, which is another major step in preventing them from making financial transactions. Is there anything else that can be done? President Biden has promised no American troops on the ground in Ukraine. What more is still out there for the United States?
I think 2 key things, Willie. One is to flood the zone with ammunition, with weapons, to get more bullets into the hands of Ukrainians. President Zelenskyy, who I agree is emerging as an enormous example in leadership, was told the other day by a variety of people, hey, you better get out of Kyiv. You better get to Lviv in the west. What did he do? He took off his suits, put on his hunting gear, and said, I don't need a ride, I need more ammunition. That's the kind of leader you want to see, and we need to provide him the ammunition. Really, the other thing is continue to move U.S. troops to the borders of NATO, not into Ukraine, but we need to show Putin that this alliance stands together. And that means, as I think the president has done correctly, get U.S. troops to Europe for reassurance. They are standing alongside the Brits, the French, the Germans, all along these borders. Last thing, not a U.S. thing, Willie, but I was very pleased to see just a couple hours ago, the Chancellor of Germany announced the biggest defense spending increase in recent German history. They're going to be spending over 2% of their GDP on defense, something we've asked them to do for a couple of decades. These are all unintended bad consequences for Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, Germany coming along now. Admiral, before I let you go, you touched on President Zelenskyy. Just want to ask you, though, as someone who has led troops into battle as the Supreme Allied Commander of NATO and elsewhere, what does it mean to troops to see a leader like President Zelenskyy in battle fatigue, sitting with the troops, drinking coffee with them, standing in the streets effectively and not going into hiding?
Yeah, he is example in leadership 101. Be out front, and where you can't be physically, get your videos out there. Put on the same combat gear that your troops are wearing. Stand up for your nation. And let's face it, he's someone who's been a performer in a previous life. He's pretty good with a one-liner. He said the other day, when the Russians come for us, they will see our faces, not our backs, meaning they are not going to back down. He's the kind of leader I would want to go into combat with.
Admiral Stavridis, so great to have your insights always. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.